So I'm 27 years old, and by YouTube standards, I'm technically failing. I'm not viral. I don't have crazy view counts, and I'm not quitting my job tomorrow. And I'm definitely not the kind of creator that the algorithm rewards right away. But honestly, let me tell you, I've never been happier than I am right now, and that took me a long time to understand. When I first started posting on YouTube, I thought success was, supposed to look a certain way. You're supposed to have, all of these views coming in every week, constant growth, subscribers coming in, momentum that really never slows down. And, when I first noticed that didn't happen, I started questioning literally everything. Am I doing this wrong? Am I wasting my time? Am I behind compared to other people? And that's a big thing, comparing yourself to other people. And it's hard not to think that way, especially when you see all these other people online showing their highlight reels and people blowing up overnight and creators talking about how easy it is to grow on YouTube. They're showing their screenshots of their analytics, and you already feel like you're losing, and now you just feel worse. And for a while, I felt that pressure too. And, something's changed as of recently. And I've, created multiple accounts on YouTube, have some successful accounts as well. But something's changed, and it's not in my numbers, but it's how I look at this. I'm building YouTube while working a full time job and raising a family. I'm a first time dad here. My daughter's 6 months. And this is the first time I put into something that actually matters. I don't have unlimited hours in the day, I don't have endless energy, and I can't afford to chase these trends that really just don't align with my real life. And once I've accepted that, I realized something like very important. And by YouTube standards, yeah, I might be failing, but my standards, I'm finally building something that just feels honest. And I'm creating without the constant anxiety of comparison. I've been learning, instead of rushing, I'm starting to focus on the clarity instead of chasing the numbers and the statistics, the analytics. And weirdly enough, that's made this whole process way more enjoyable. And I think a lot of creators burn out because they're chasing someone else's version of success and they're not taking their own route and finding themselves on their journey. Instead, they're measuring themselves against people with different seasons, different responsibilities, different priorities. Especially now, as me being a dad, it's definitely a lot different and working two jobs. And when you do that, like YouTube start feeling like a scoreboard instead of a long game. And we need to remember that YouTube isn't supposed to be a sprint. I'm always constantly having to remind myself that it's a compounding process and definitely a learning curve and a place where clarity builds over time. And it's not just going to happen instantly overnight. Most people quit not because they can't grow, but because they don't like how it feels early on in the process when they're not getting the results. Early looks like low views and quiet weeks and even looks like progress that you just can't see yet. And if you're in that phase right now, I want you to hear this. Being early doesn't mean you're failing. What it usually means is you're just still learning. And I've recently stopped measuring success by views alone. And instead, I'm measuring by whether I'm improving on every video that I put out, whether my message is getting clearer, whether I'm building something that I can stick with long term, and kind of see the route I'm starting to go with my content. And that shift changed everything for me. Because now, like, even with the numbers that don't move the way I want them to, and, not the insane amount of views coming in every day, every week, every month, I still don't feel defeated anymore. Sometimes frustrated, but I feel grounded and I feel aligned that what I'm actually creating matters again. And that's the whole reason we started creating in the first place, right? And again, by YouTube standards, I might look like a failure right now, right? But I'm happier because I'm more patient and more confident in the direction that I'm going more than ever. And again, I have done this on multiple channels. And yes, we've had some successful channels. I worked for my dad's brand creators channel for a few years. We grew that to over 100,000 subscribers, had some good videos there. We've been through the lows of that channel as well. Brand new channel, Live Video School. was a fun project for me and my dad to create something together where I wasn't behind the scenes, but I was, next to him, father, son, working together. And we were able to grow that to over 30,000 subscribers in about a year's time, and also grew that into a six-figure business in about 8 months. And again, there's highs and lows that comes with it. Quick little story. That channel, I came up with the idea to my dad, hey, let's teach what we're doing on this other channel and let's just go for it. We can do father, son, whatever. So we started teaching it, and every video in the beginning, and you can go look at our stats, was I think maybe 100 impressions, not views, by the end of the week. And it was definitely defeating, but we also knew what like the other side looked like. And so we knew eventually we would finally get something to take. And it took probably about a month and a half. And we had one video take off. And then we kind of started finding our way. Had some videos hit over 100,000 views, 300,000 views. And then right now we're going through a pivot on that channel. And our views have tanked to where we were averaging probably 5,000 views a video. We're lucky to get between 500 to 1,000 views of video right now. And it's a constant journey, a constant battle. And I get frustrated all the time with it. But I also, remember what was the reason I started this channel. It's still successful in my eyes. And I need to do a better job of going back and remembering why we started that channel in the first place. And also all of the connections and the people that I've helped along the way with that channel. And it's also the reason I created this channel here. This is started from scratch. I wanted to do this to give a different perspective on the beginner YouTubers, that the journey is rough in the beginning. And this is where like I'm all about no gatekeeping, no fluff, and just giving everything right away so that you guys actually see what's real behind the scenes besides the fake numbers that everyone shows, these gurus show. I'm starting this channel, guys. This is, I think, my fourth video I'm posting. The first three videos, the highest view was 50 views, and it had over 1,000 impressions. It's pretty good for a brand new channel. But the next two videos have like 1 view, one might have 10 views, and the impressions haven't even hit 1,000 impressions yet. And again, impressions is just going across people's feeds. So that means YouTube's not even pushing it right now. Now it's early. I'm not going to freak out. But here's the thing. I do a lot of research on outliers and titles and other channels. I can't tell you how many channels I find where the first video blows up for a creator and the title's nothing crazy, the thumbnail's nothing crazy, and the content, even the camera quality, is not crazy. And so this is kind of like a test in a sense, but also a way that I can stay grounded and stay connected to all these, whether you're a beginner or just whether you're on your journey right now of YouTube, to just kind of keep pushing through and understand that there is going to be ups and downs like a roller coaster, but you got to remember the reason why you're creating it. It's not just creating it to make money. It's not just creating it to get views, but to help someone solve a problem, right? Or just to help someone in general and help more people out there. And once you do that and build a loyal fan base, it makes it so much easier to put out content because you know what those people need and what they want. And again, I'm not doing this with anything, fancy right now. I have a mic. This mic isn't even plugged in. Okay. I have a DJI on the back of this, right? Looks great, but it's not even on, right? And I have my iPhone propped up on a tripod right now. I'm just sitting in a chair, and I have a light right here. That's all I have right now. I'm nothing fancy, no crazy setup, this or that. I'm just showing you how you can go through even without having all the top stuff, top editing, top this, top that, and you can still find a way to create a loyal audience from it. And loyal audience doesn't mean you need millions of followers or subscribers or even views. You just need the right people in your corner. And that's my goal on this channel, is to find the right people in my corner that are able to, again, come along with me on this journey. So if you're interested in staying with me on this journey, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.